Just playing around with these live settings while I'm driving to work. Don't worry, I did it when the vehicle was stopped. So I have the phone just kind of set in place here, and I just wanted to kind of test it out. I'm trying to figure out this whole live deal. How you can see the chats while you're actually talking to people and all that stuff. So once we get a few people on here, I'll be able to give it a test. So anyhow, guys, hit that like and subscribe. I hope you all have a wonderful day today, and you all take care. Hey, what's up, Roadhog? How are you? Hey, I'll be right back. Proving that we had continuous coverage on a new vehicle that I purchased, and it's been just one headache after another with them. And so anyhow, the lien holder of the vehicle was trying to force place insurance on it, and as you can imagine, that didn't go over very well with me. So I had made a call to my insurance agent and talked with him, and I left him a message. So he just got back in touch with me finally. So how you doing, Roadhog? You guys doing okay today? Yeah, I'm just trying out these live features just to see how how they work. And because what's weird is, like, I do this with my cell phone, and anyhow, I don't see people writing unless I touch the screen and pull down on it. So I'm not sure if there's a way to make it where it'll just automatically come live or what. Because obviously, I don't want to always have to do that. So, but anyhow, so how you been, man? Doing good? That's good, man. That's good. Yeah, my insurance company's been driving me nuts because I bought my wife a Ford Explorer. I don't know, probably a month and a half, 2 months ago now, and it wasn't a planned purchase. I actually was going there to upgrade my truck, so that I wanted to buy. I got a full-size F-150, but it's only two-wheel drive, and I wanted to get a four-wheel drive, like an F-250 or an F-350 with the 8. The cost of these pickup trucks are insane. What they're asking for these full-size pickup trucks. They want 70 grand to 100 grand for not even a brand new truck. Like used trucks, they want 60, 70 grand for them. So anyhow, I was like, I'm not gonna spend the money like that for a used vehicle. So I saw a car that my wife had been wanting for several years, and I never really liked them, and I always kept talking her out of buying them. And but I found pretty much the one she wanted, so I went ahead and bought that for her instead. And we just took on another payment. So not that we really wanted to take on a second payment, but I see you talking about the subs, Roadhog. So that happens for some reason with YouTube. I think when somebody subscribes to you, I think they have to hit subscribe, and then they got to hit the notification bell. But they have to spend at least, I think it's either 3 minutes or 5 minutes watching a video, and I believe you got to watch 3 or 4 videos at least the 3 to 5 minute time frame for it to stick. There was one day I skyrocketed. I think I gained 30 subscribers or 35 subscribers. I went into a live chat, and and I gained a ton of subscribers, and because the guy was promoting my channel, and all of a sudden, the next day they were all gone, and I was like, what the heck, man? I was like, come on now, my channel's not that bad, I said, it's not as good as some of the channels, but I said, hey, I don't think it's a bad channel, but anyhow, I got a couple friends that I work with, and their kids are big YouTubers where they got 300,000-400,000 subscribers. So I got to talking with them one day, and they kind of explained to me the whole deal with that, and also YouTube messes around, I think, with the subscriber count, because there's channels that I've watched for 2 years that all of a sudden out of nowhere I stopped getting alerts that they had new videos out and this and that, and then all of a sudden I look and I'm no longer subscribed to them, and I'm like, I never unsubscribed to them, so I'm like, I don't understand how that happened, and as soon as I resubscribed to them, all of a sudden I got back in touch with them, and I had them look to see if they were still subscribed to me, and sure enough, they weren't subscribed to me either. So I think YouTube messes with them sometimes. Yeah, I agree with you, Roadhog. Thank you very much, man. I like your channel too, man. The prices of everything are just, there's no reason for the stuff to cost what it does. I work in, I'm a licensed plumber, and I also work within the retail industry, and I look at the prices of what stuff cost a year ago versus what it costs today, and in some cases it's doubled and even tripled, and I'm like, my paycheck hasn't doubled. I'm sure your paycheck hasn't doubled. So I'm like, how do they expect these, the general public to pay for this stuff, and I don't understand how they expect people to pay for half of this stuff, because the cost of this stuff is absolutely insane. Yesterday I actually gave a customer a discount by like $24.99 on a $40 item, because the price had jumped up that much and nobody had replaced the tag to show the correct price. So I had to sell it to them for the cost that it was advertised as, and I'm like, that's crazy to me that stuff is skyrocketing that much, because I look at, I lost both my parents. My mom and dad both passed away in their 60s, and I look today and I'm like, there's no way my mother would have been able to support herself and us 3 kids on the small income she had that from when she was working. My parents had divorced. My dad obviously paid child support and stuff, but my mom was primarily the one that did everything, and I'm like, I don't know how she did it back then. And I remember many nights where she would go with barely eating, because she wanted to let us kids have seconds, and when we were younger we didn't know what was happening, and we didn't see what was happening, and but now that I'm older and I have my own kids, I remember my mom doing stuff like that. And I remember one of my mom's, one of my favorite memories of my mom was I bought her a coat. I saved up, I don't know, I probably saved up $100, and I bought my mother a coat. And my mother, she didn't have a good winter coat, and we were living in Connecticut at the time, so the winters were really cold, but she couldn't afford a really nice coat, so she had these, Salvation Army, I guess, type of coats that it was torn up, and it wasn't a very good one. And so I saved up my money doing paper routes and stuff, and I went out and I bought my mother a winter coat, and I remember she was absolutely thrilled when I did that. She started crying and everything else, and that's a good memory that I made my mom happy. And kind of just was like a thank you for, all your hard work over the years. And she was a great mother. My father was a great dad. But like in this world today, man, I don't know how single parents do it. Yeah, you say you're on Social Security disability, I think is what that is standing for. That's what my mom was on at the towards the end when she, my mother eventually developed breast cancer, and she had a stroke, and she went blind, from the stroke. She became legally blind, so she wasn't able to work, and that's exactly what Social Security disability gave to her, was $800 a month. And I remember, I was my mom's power of attorney, and me and my brother ended up moving, back in with my mother just to help her make ends meet. And I don't understand how anybody, I don't know how it's possible to live on $800 a month. Like, if that was your only income and your only source of thing, because I gotta, me, my wife, my two kids, and my wife and I, we own a business that involves us buying and whatnot, for the business. But I'd be willing to bet we spend over $1,000 a month just in food, and it's the business is a daycare. So what's sad is a lot of that food gets thrown in the trash, because the kids don't eat it, or they drop it on the ground, spill their plate, whatever. But I'd be willing to bet we spend real close to $1,000 a month just in food expenses, and it's crazy, man. It's that's the other thing, is food shouldn't cost what it costs. Hey, I appreciate that. Yeah, my mom was a good person, man. And what's up, Bud Files? Yeah, my mom was a good person. She has a lasting legacy, though. I'm sure I got a video up somewhere in my page, but my mom used to do a volunteer thing for the baseball field in Connecticut, and anyhow, she raised thousands and thousands of dollars for this Little League field in Connecticut. And so shortly before she died, they had approached me, because my mom was in a nursing home towards the end, because she was paralyzed on one side of her body because she had another stroke. And she didn't want us kids doing the stuff that she would need care wise. So she had asked for us to have her just go to a nursing facility, and she was with my aunt for a while, so it kind of worked out nice. She had family with her, in the nursing facility. And anyhow, the field they had told me that they were going to dedicate something to do with the field after her, and I honestly thought they were going to dedicate like the hot dog stand, or the like little luncheonette. I thought they were going to call it Nicholas Luncheonette or something like that, because she would always go there and buy herself a hot dog and a hamburger and sit back and watch the games. And she actually had gotten the funding for the lunch area with a roof over it, and so that was pretty neat. But what they ended up dedicating to her was a field. So there's a field up there that's called Nicholas Field, and when I tell you that would have meant the world to my mom had she got to see that. I get super emotional even thinking about it, because it means the world to me. So like, my mom never got to see the sign, because unfortunately she passed away before they had been able to dedicate the sign and then get the sign put up and whatnot. But she knew that they were going to do it, because one of the things I had told her was a possible baseball field called Nicholas Field, and I remember her eyes lighting up, and she's like, that would be really cool, that'd be really special. And because there's one other field that was named after another gentleman there, and she always thought that was an awesome tribute to that other gentleman that has a field. It's called Greenleaf Field, and she always thought that was really special that they named that field. But this the baseball field that they named after is a t-ball field, and what's special about it is she raised all the money to make that t-ball field, and she used to live on the other side of the fence where the t-ball field was. So what she used to do is sit on her back porch, and she could see over top of her fence, and she would be able to watch the kids play baseball. So she would sit there and drink her coffee and just kind of watch them play ball. And so it was really special that they chose that particular field, and they made a really big, really nice sign. And I told you, I get emotional thinking about it, man. So I remember, after she passed away, they were trying to find somebody to hang this sign, because it's a big sign, it's heavy, and anyhow, it had been well over a year and they still hadn't had it hung up yet, and I got to the point where I didn't honestly think that they did it. They had like a temporary sign up. It was made out of like a canvas material, but it got to the point where I was thinking that they probably weren't going to end up doing a real sign. Like, I was happy with the canvas sign, but I was like, I want a permanent sign that'll be there forever, So anyhow, one of the guys had called me over. I was fixing to move, and a week or so before I moved, 2 weeks before I moved maybe, he called me over, and he's like, come on over and let me show you the sign. He's like, I know it's not a good situation, but he's like, it's inside of a shed, and he's like, we're just waiting for somebody to come and put it up. So when he brought me into that shed and showed it to me, dude, I cried like a baby, man. I bawled, and I was so extremely appreciative and extremely happy, and I was like, my mom's smiling down at that, and I remember I told him, I said, dude, I said, you need somebody to put that sign up. I said, I can make one call, and I can get 6-7 of my friends to be over here tomorrow, and I said, we'll get that sign up, and I said, we'll take all responsibility if something happens, hanging it up or afterwards. And he's like, no, Ted, he's like, I appreciate the offer, but he's like, I got somebody to do it already. And he's like, when are you leaving? And I told him when I was leaving. He's like, I promise you it'll be up before you leave. And it was, man. He got it up 3 days before I left. And so I got pictures of my motorcycle in front of it, and pictures with my kids in front of it, my brother's kids. And so it was really special. It was really cool to see them do that. I was extremely thankful and extremely happy that they made that happen for us, because my mom would have a big smile on her face over that, which is really cool. You used to play t-ball in Michigan, huh? With disabled kids. That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's awesome. That's the type of stuff that memories, you'll have those memories forever. It makes a world of difference to people when you take the time and do stuff like that with them. You know what I mean? And in the day and age that we live in right now, that's something that you got to make sure that you do, because there's too much bad stuff in this world. There's too much hatred. There's too much just frustrating, aggravating stuff, unfortunately. And we need more good people in the world like us. Because it's just it's hard sometimes. But hey, man, I appreciate you guys joining my live. It was nice chatting with you, Road Dog and Bud Files. Anybody else that had popped on. I just got to work, so I need to go clock in, because I'm going to end up being late if I don't hurry up. So Hey, man, God bless all you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. God bless you, and God bless the USA. Thanks again for watching and chatting with me this morning. I appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a good evening now, all right? Later.